Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is Orcs Must Die? No, it is not, in fact, the new album by 3 Inches of Blood. It is the new game by Robot Entertainment. Robot Entertainment were the guys that brought you Age of Empires Online. They were also responsible for doing updates to Halo Wars and Age of Empires 3. They have now released a full game, and this is what it is. It is Orcs Must Die, and I like to call it a trap defense game. It's not so much a tower defense game, because from what I've seen thus far, there aren't really any towers. There are many, many traps, and it is your responsibility to keep the orcs away from the rift. Too many orcs go through the rift, you lose. Simple as that. So, there is a demo on Steam, so I decided to play past those levels because you guys may have already seen the first 3 levels. So I've played up to level 6. There are 24 levels, I believe, in total, so it's quite a long game, and these orcs can be a little bit tenacious. They take a while to get rid of, so levels can go on for quite some time. I've seen even the first couple of levels going on for 10 plus minutes, and I would imagine that the levels go on for much longer going through the game. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of levels, hopefully, assuming I don't fail here. You'll see my scores here. I was fine on that. I screwed up these 2 royally. I did really well on those 2, so I want to go for that. Now, before we do that, it's a PC game, so we should have a look at the options. Always, always. So, the first thing that I've got an issue with in this game, and this should be easily fixable, is that it feels like there's mouse acceleration going on. I turned the mouse sensitivity all the way down to nothing, and then upped the DPI on my Razer Naga mouse, and that appears to have eliminated most of the problems. However, if I turn mouse sensitivity up, there's a major feel of mouse lag, and that's unfortunate. Since this game is not out for another week, I'm hoping that they can get that resolved in the PC version of it before it comes out. And needless to say, I'll be sending this video over to them to say, oi, deal with it. Also, the amount of graphical options is not a huge number. That's it. I mean, that's the details. I don't imagine this game takes a very powerful machine, for what I can tell, but I would like to see proper graphics options. That does not, in fact, cut it. No, it does not. What I do like is the fact that you can offset the camera. So that's quite nice, because you're going to play this game from a third-person perspective. There's very few third-person perspective games that give the option to offset the camera to the left, the right, or indeed the center. So it's good. That gives a few choices to people. So I like that, so I can commend them for that. There's no real question about that. Alright, aside from that, that's really all there is to it. The controls are nice and simple. They cannot be rebound. Slappy robots. Bad robots. No. Yes, I'm aware Bad Robot is a film production company. Let's not get sued over copyright. Anyway, that would actually be a trademark. Let's get on with it. So what you've got is an upgrade system, and that upgrade system is dependent on how well you do. So there's an incentive to replay levels. Say, I could replay the bats, for instance, to be less freaking terrible and get more skulls. The more skulls you get, the more upgrades you can actually get for yourself. So there will most likely be times where maybe further on in the game that you get to the stage where you're thinking, well, you know what, I'm going off upgrades, this sucks, let's go back and make it a little bit easier by replaying this, because the game is not actually all that easy, as I have discovered. I'm playing on War Mage difficulty. There is a Nightmare mode, and there's also the Apprentice mode if you want something a little bit easier, but you can only gain 2 skulls from any given level if you select that, so you are rewarded for taking the War Mage difficulty. So there are upgrades available. Now, I am seeing a huge number of squares. So we've got what? That's 5 by 6, so you're looking at 30 potential upgrades. There may be multiple upgrades per trap, but I don't know if that's really the case. What there are not upgrades for are the weapons that you gain, so I'm a little bit annoyed by that. Maybe there's something you can do later on with that, but whatever the case, let's get started and actually show you how the game works. So each level you get a new toy to play with, as the game makes very clear. In fact, that's exactly what the protagonist actually says. I get a new toy to play with every rift I defend. The protagonist is a bit of a douchebag. I just want to point that out. Alrighty then. Okay, so that's your rift right there.
Another attack where our defenses are thin? If I didn't know better, I think the orcs were learning.
There's like a plot or something. There is actually a plot to the game, although for the first few levels you're not really going to care about that. That's actually a teleporter. Lets you teleport across the level, which is kind of useful. Now you'll notice this door, that's where the orcs will come in, and there's also these little blue lines that's going to tell you the path that the orcs are generally going to go. They are predictable in the way that they go, but they do tend to mill around. For instance, they're not going to blindly run into traps. They're not entirely stupid. So if I were to put, say, a spike trap here, you're not going to have everyone suddenly run into it. Some of them will try and avoid it, and they'll kind of vary their paths just a little bit. Now, in this case, they're all going to go that way, by the looks of it. So, let's have a look at the spellbook. Now, you've got a certain number of slots, so you're limited in the weapons and items that you can take. There are items like this one right here, and there are weapons. You have to take the crossbow, which I don't necessarily agree with, because it would be nice sometimes just to take the blade staff. The blade staff is actually quite good. I'm going to take the blade staff this time around. I'm not going to take the wind belt. It has some uses, but I'm going to just stay off it for the time being. It's a little bit gimmicky. All right. Aside from that, we're going to take an archer guardian, which is a guardian that shoots. Needless to say. There's a barricade, so I want to try that one out. I've got 3 more choices, so I'm going to take these 3. The explosive barrel is not amazingly good. It's good in a pinch, but I would say that these traps are better. This one's very good in terms of its cost effectiveness. This one is extremely effective, and this one, in combination with this one, is really, really good as well. And you can also build up combos from comboing different traps together, and that's good for earning more money, which is very, very useful. You don't have a lot of money, then you can't build a lot of traps. Alright, so let's have a look at the level, shall we? It looks like they're going to be going in 2 different directions, so we can perhaps focus some traps around this area. The problem is there's no nearby walls, aside from this one. So I think the first thing to do is to focus on the guys coming through here. Now, I've taken the upgrade, which extends the archery range of that trap, which is good. That means that it's going to hit everything that comes through that. However, it does have a fairly lengthy recharge timer. Now, a way to make that just a little bit more effective would be perhaps to put these down, but if you can see, it's not going to hold them up in the place that I want them to. So, now I could put a barricade down in front of here, and I would hope that that will allow the archery trap to be a little bit more effective. Now, I've got enough money for, say, 1 more. I could get an archer out. Archer's probably not a terrible bet, honestly. I'm going to have a look at here and check the path of this. There we go, so it's not too much of an issue. So some of them are going to go around there, up the top and across, which is a bit awkward. We'll see if there's perhaps a vantage point for our archer to shoot from. Looks like there is. Putting one here makes sense. So, put one here, and hopefully he's got the range from there. Alright! Well, no, hang on. You need to be rotated in the right direction. Let's make sure that you are facing the right direction. There you go. You go there. That should be a good place to go. Right. That's all the money I've got, so let's unleash the Horde, and this is wave 1 of 7. So, your traps will by no means be sufficient, so you're gonna have to fight. There's no real doubt about that. You'll see that this works fairly effectively. The problem is, of course, they're just running around the barricades. Well, barricades are not complete yet, so bit of a pain, but hey, we'll deal with it. Now, you have a primary and a special attack with this weapon. Is my archer actually hitting anything from here? It's not. Wonderful. Okay, that's not helpful at all. Okay, now it's shooting. There we go. Get off. Alright, these guys have got past the defenses, but you can actually headshot people quite easily in this game. Get back here. Oh, I've already let some through. Not a good start. Not a good start, so I'm not going to get a 5 skill rating for this one. I have a feeling my defensive ideas were actually fairly stupid. Now, you don't get a lot of time to set up before the next guys come along, so better be damn quick about it. Kobold runners, irritating little bastards. But thankfully quite easy to kill and farm for money, so I'm going to do that. I don't think placing these barricades here was effective, so once I get my next break, I can actually sell the barricades full value and redesign my defenses, which is quite nice. Well, that was a pretty pathetic wave, and I didn't actually get an awful lot of money for it, so that was fairly upsetting. I'm going to put 1 more barricade there. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. Well, at least they only have 1 entrance in this map. Some of them have multiple. Barricades, I have to say, are very, very expensive for what they do, although they do at least limit the number of orcs that can come down any given path, so we can slice them up just a little bit, knock them about. Always good. Some of them could go in the acid, for instance. Nice little kill streak bonus there. Now, occasionally you will get a potion drop, because you can see my health is very low, but the potion drops are pretty random, so you can go an entire wave without seeing one. It would be nice if potions, perhaps... I don't know, maybe they do increase in terms of their frequency, but I'm not really seeing that. Alright, so can I get some slowing down actually going on here? Because they're going to have to pass through here. So yes, I can.
Thing you'll ever see.
And then I can have some arrows shooting through here, and then once they come through here...
Who wants more traps? I do!
Alright, okay, I screwed that up just a little bit. Let's have that one.
Then forget it.
There we go. And I could perhaps afford one more, by the sounds of it. Or alternatively, I could put another another tar trap here to slow them down, because then that means they're in range of this archery trap when it goes off again. So let's give that a shot. I'm not entirely convinced as the effectiveness of this archer. I can actually sell him from here, and I could reposition him perhaps. If I put him here, then he's likely to be a little bit more effective, but he's also likely to be shot to pieces. You know what? I don't really care about the sanctity of my archer. I'm going to put him there. Now, what you'll notice is there's actually a kind of a heat map on the mini-map, and that's going to show you how effective your traps actually are and where your orcs got through, so you can redesign your defenses accordingly. Now, the longer I hold on here, the closer I get to the par time, so that's not so good, so we're just going to unleash the Horde. Now, I'm thinking these defenses might be a little bit better this time around, so maybe investing in the barricades wasn't too bad an idea. A few headshots, there we go. Send them off in that direction. And that slows them down into a nice narrow pass we like to call the hot gates, where their numbers count for nothing. Slicey, slicey. There we go. Arrows, arrows, arrows. So I don't know if my defenses were as effective as I would hope. In fact, no, they definitely weren't. I don't think there's really any doubt about that. Thankfully, I can take these guys apart with my blade staff. So at least you've got some options there. Oh, get back here. Not good, not good, not good. It's alright, they're too busy trying to kill me. Let's try and draw them over here. That should narrow them down just a little bit. Cool, so they didn't reach that way, but there is another way around. Just remember that. Let's keep an eye on that mini-map. That's alright, just wander into that. Sounds perfect. There you go, dealt with. But there are a couple trying to sneak around this entrance. I'm not a fan of that. So, the actual melee combat and things in this game, they're pretty fun, honestly. They can get a little bit repetitive. I think what would be nice is if there were upgrades and maybe a little bit of diversity in terms of the weapons. They don't seem to be. Maybe there are later on in the game, but I haven't seen any upgrades available for any of the weapons, including the wind weapon. So, it would be certainly quite nice to see a few of those. Now, you can just spam this if you want, but the accuracy goes to hell, so it's often better just to wait and then headshot, headshot, headshot. This doesn't give you really anything special, but it does kill the orc in one hit, so generally speaking, that's kind of useful. There we go. Held that together quite nicely. Looks like my Archer Guardian is dead. Sad face. Man, you do not get a lot of time in between waves. No, no, no. Absolutely not. Looks like this is just a little kobold wave, so that should be easy enough to deal with. There you go. Not a problem. Some of them are just running off into the lava. It's pretty hilarious, really. Indeed it was. Alright. We're almost done with this particular level. We've got one more wave to deal with. I like to try and concentrate my traps in an area where I know everyone's actually going to be. Like here, for instance. What I can do is, of course, add more tar. Or can I? I don't really have the space for that. Maybe if I were to sell the barricades, I can do so for full price, so it's not too shabby. So the way that this level is designed makes this whole tar pit thing a little awkward. Alright, if we then plonk the barricades in front of those tar pits...
Step right this way, Mr. Orc.
Please do, yes. There we go. Orcs have not learned to jump, so they have to run around the barricade. And what we can also do there is add an additional tar pit.
It'll hurt a lot.
Yes, it will. Alright, okay, I've got some money left, so I think I'm actually going to place a few archers here, just to lure them into a killing field. And they're facing in the wrong direction. Let's try that one again. That way. I don't know if they actually turn around. It would be nice if they did, but knowing games like this, they probably don't. Alright. Let's take them. Open fire. There is something viscerally satisfying about them falling into your cunningly placed traps. It's extremely enjoyable to watch. Oh, yes. Once you get to this stage, it's a lot more fun and actually gets a little bit less frantic, really, because you know you've got the traps set up. At the start, you don't have a lot of money, so the initial waves are actually really frantic, but on some of these levels, it seems like the game actually gets easier, which is... I don't think that's really what they're intending to do, but although this time it looks like we're being completely overwhelmed, so maybe I said that a little bit too soon. But once you've got enough traps on the field, you can neutralize a large number of orcs. So I suppose it's a balancing issue to some degree, but it's definitely not too shabby. I still feel like I'm challenged even at that stage. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so I could go to the bio-crate screen, but I do not have enough skulls, so there you go. It would be nice if I could get that. It's 12 skulls worth, though, and once you pick an upgrade, you are stuck with it. Which... I would say that kind of sucks, because you might discover that a trap is less useful later on in the game and then realize, oh, well, you know what, I wasted those skulls. But I suppose there's also plenty of skulls to be had if you play well, so it's not too bad. It's also a nice stat screen right here, as you can see. I was a little bit late on it. Yep, that was the part time, so 30-second delay actually lost me a skull, and I lost a skull because I left one orc through. How irritating. Oh, well, never mind. Alrighty then. Ooh, Springtrap. Now, I saw this in the interactive trailer. This is what I've been looking forward to. Oh, yes, because you can combo this with all sorts of wonderful and unpleasant little things. Alright, so let's do one level. Another level, in fact. And I suppose we can then reach a conclusion of first impressions on this game. After playing for about an hour or so.
Twin Halls. One of the oldest of the Rift fortresses. Paladins say this place is haunted. I don't know about that. But sure could use a good dusting.
Oh, cool. It gives you a free boom barrel. How kind of it. Alright. A spring trap. Extended arrow traps. My favorite traps. These traps are always useful. The blade staff is incredibly useful. I'm going to take an Archer Guardian. And did we take the barricades this time around? No, I'm going to skip the barricades. And I'm going to go with spike traps there. I'm going to go trap heavy and less on the blocking. Admittedly... I suppose there are some arguments for just barricading this area off completely. I wonder if they'd smash through the barricades. I don't really know. Right, okay. First things first. Are there any acid pits? Yes, there are. That means that some of these guys are going in the drink. Let's make that happen, shall we? Alright, put one here.
A treat for you.
One here.
A treat for you.
Right. Okay, so... I would like to slow the orcs down and place some arrow traps here as well. I want to be careful, though, because I've got two areas to defend. I wonder if they're going to come through both doors at the same time. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Alright, I'll leave that like that for the time being. Pop through a teleporter. Hope it takes me to the right place, which can't... yeah, that was good enough. Don't fall in the acid, because that will actually kill you instantly. And that would be bad. Alright. Let's prepare a few more spring traps for them. There we go. Another arrow trap here. That's me out of cash. Alright, let's hope that this is good enough, shall we? Let's go. You learn sort of via trial and error. It looks like nobody's coming through that door. Well, that's kind of irritating. Alright, let's just sit here and watch the comedy. Yes! Into the acid you go. Unfortunately, they don't reset quick enough, so I've just let a huge number through. And once again, this is an example of how Wave 1 seems to be more frantic than any of the other waves. You're sort of panicking and hoping that your defenses will actually hold, and then hoping you don't take too much damage, end up dying and losing a bunch of rift points. There you go. I do like the orc battle chatter. It is quite amusing. Now, it seems there is one orc in the acid. There it is. Finally, he's down. Alright. Well, that didn't go as well as I would hoped, I have to say. I'm thinking perhaps we should reposition these, but I don't really have the time. Now, I know they're coming through this direction. Is that the only direction they're going to come through? Looks like it is. Alright. Okay. Let's get over here. It would be nice to actually slow a few walks down around here. Narrow them out, thin them out just a little bit. There we go. Go on. Those have quite a large reset timer. That's unfortunate. Don't spam. Headshots are better. There we go. And now a few through here as well. Okay, right. Well, well, well. We could set up a couple of archers on the top right there to pick off the stragglers. That would be quite good. I think we need a few more arrow traps here. We could combo the arrow traps together.
A treat for you.
There you go. Oh, great. They decided to come through that way. Bollocks. Alright. It feels like we're going Headshot City, population me. At least it would be if I could bloody aim properly, which I absolutely cannot. Alright, things are getting bad. Really, really bad. And I'm going to die in a second. It's okay. I have a backup defense, which consists of that. There we go. That narrows things down a little. Now they're attacking from the other side as well, but unfortunately the majority of them decided to come this way, which I do not appreciate. There we go. Much better. Looks like the East Hall held quite nicely. The problems are on this side. It's okay, we can reinforce that. There we go. Alright, I have a metric ton of wonderful traps available.
Never see this coming.
Let's add some arrow traps along here. Slow them down here.
Present for you.
And then a set of spike traps over there.
One for you.
And there we go. We are ready to get started. I'm hoping the other side is fine. Should probably put some Archer Guardians up on there. That would have maybe worked a little better. I suppose it's about... Oh, a what? An ogre. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Where is the ogre? Alright, things seem to be fine here, at least. There you go, slow them down a little bit. You might wonder, well, what's the point of the slowdown? Well, what it does is it allows the trap time to reset. Oh, balls. I think letting the ogre through might end up happening here. Ow! Ow! This guy! Alright, maybe I can fight him. Maybe I can fight him. Okay, he's down, he's down. Oh! Alright. Stressful, this orc slaying business. I think we're going to put an Archer Guardian up here. Facing in the right direction, preferably. There we go. You should be able to deal quite nicely with these guys. Let's keep an eye on this side. Try and take the ogre out. Oh, I got a headshot on it. Unfortunately, ogres don't die to a single headshot. They get delayed by spike traps, but they certainly don't die to them either. It's okay. Banzai! There we go. Oh, God. The stun. The stun! The stun! Also, horrible things are about to happen over here. Let's get moving as quickly as we can. Get an Archer Guardian to help me out. Kill him. By kill him, I mean the Orcs kill the Archer Guardian so that I can kill them before they reach the portal. What can I say? I don't have good job security here. There we go. So, this game is pretty damn enjoyable, honestly. I don't know if I would play it for, say, hours at a time, because, yes, the slaying of orcs does get a little bit repetitive, regardless of the number of traps that you get. It is no doubt pretty damn cool. It's no doubt an extremely fun game, but I would take it in shorter doses, maybe of a couple of levels at a time. Because otherwise I think it would outstay its welcome just a little bit. The humor is funny, but of course does get repetitive because there are a limited number of lines. So that can be a bit of a problem. I would like to see upgrades, say, for the melee weapons and the ranged weapons. I don't know if they're in later in the game. It's a first impressions. But if they're not, that would be something I would suggest they add, possibly in a post-launch bit of DLC or something, or maybe a patch if they're feeling generous. So, aside from that, though, it is extremely enjoyable. It does give me Dungeon Keeper vibes, only from the other side. I would actually like to see this done in a Dungeon Keeper style, where you're doing it to supposedly friendly, nice, wonderful little fairies and knights and things like that, and actually putting evil traps on them. That would be good. I would enjoy that. As it stands, though, it is an extremely enjoyable little game. This is going to run you about $15. I believe it's £11.99, 13 euros or something along those lines. There's also a pre-order bonus. You get access to a Warhammer weapon if you pre-order. And you also get a nice outfit. Don't know if I, as I say, approve of that. I don't know if you can access the Warhammer later in the game or if it's any different to this. Maybe it's just cosmetic. I know, obviously, the armor set is just cosmetic. I don't approve, folks. I do not approve of things that give you benefits for pre-ordering. I'm not a fan of that. Don't think it's necessary. Alright, let's pop some more Archer Guardians up here. Should give some good firepower. And, you know what, a few more spring traps wouldn't go amiss. It'd be nice to see how these traps combo together later in the game, because obviously there's not a huge amount of comboing going on at this point. There's more sort of shoot and then shoot them again. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I'm not seeing any ingenious combos as of yet other than slow them down and then send them flying, or slow them down and shoot them full of arrows. Alright, it's alright. I can place the next one when I get in here, just get a few kills. All will be good. There we go. It is nice to get to this stage and just see all the traps going off and all the crazy stuff happening, orcs flying everywhere. You do literally slaughter thousands of these bloody things, which is very, very nice. It's interesting to see the tower defense genre going in this direction. It's not the first game to do it. I mean, Sanctum is a game on PC that did it. A game on console that did it goes by the name of Trenched. That's sadly only on 360, which makes me sad because that game would sell well on PC, but Double Fine hasn't been releasing its games on PC lately. Sad face. Very sad face on that one, Double Fine. But that's just how it is. It is extremely fun, though. It's got an awful lot going for it. The campaign seems to be extremely lengthy. There's a lot of trap variety certainly going on to the game. It's a bit of a slow burner, as I say. The first few levels are a little bit dull because you don't have an awful lot you can do other than shoot and place a few basic traps, but it does get going later on in the game as enemy variety increases, as weapon variety increases, trap variety increases, and as the levels get more complex, and you really can't complain about that. So Orcs Must Die is a fun experience. It's got a lot going for it, and it may very well be worth your time. It's out on 360 right now. It's out on PC on Steam on the 12th of October. So go check it out, and of course, if you decide to pre-order, you will get some small benefits. Orcs Must Die, brought to you by Robot Entertainment. As far as I'm concerned, the premier orc stabbing simulator. Orc stabbing and trap placing simulator. It's very good at both of those things. Very good indeed. Let's finish this level up. He's a lengthy one. I've run out of things to say. It's a long level. Come on, it's a long level. I don't have all that many complaints about it, honestly. I think I've pretty much given you all of the complaints that I had. Yo, dog, I heard you like traps, so I put traps on the traps. Ogres are annoying. God damn it. Incredibly difficult to kill. Come on. Just how many headshots do you need? Let me guess, we leaked the ogre on that side. Oh my. I have to go and deal with that. Ah! Get off. We'll get some more traps down here. There we go. That should narrow them down just a little bit. Thin them out. There we go. Ogre down. Some of the things that are said are extremely amusing. There we go. This should be dealt with. Is that an ogre on the other side? Nope. It's your common or garden orc. How dull. Yeah, orky, orky, orky. Damn right. There you go, folks. Level is done. That's Orcs Must Die. Keep an eye out for it. There was a demo available on Steam with the first 3 levels. You can go check that out. And there's also an interactive trailer which I put a link to in the description below this video, where, you know, it's really quite clever. You can pick what you want to do and stuff like that, and you can see the game commentated by the developers. So, a creative way of marketing it as far as I'm concerned. Alright, folks. That is me done for Orcs Must Die. Thank you very much for watching. Ooh, stabby. And I will see you next time.